The cat's out of the bag. Well, actually, it's twin tamarin monkeys. The two tiny endangered golden lion tamarins were actually born in July, but until today, Auckland Zoo had kept their birth a secret. Mum, Frida, was unable to produce milk, so when they were just 2 days old, staff made the tough decision to hand rear them. If you're watching us tonight, you'll be able to see in the photos just how teeny tiny these guys really are. They're a first for the zoo and two of just 2,500 in the wild. Joining us now is Auckland Zoo's primate leader, Amy Robbins. Amy, how big were these guys when they were born? Because they still look pretty tiny.
Yeah, they're not very big monkeys. They were around about 50 grams when they were first born, and at weigh-in at 6 o'clock this morning, they were about 130 grams.
Wow. And for people who can't see them, can you just sort of describe what do these characters look like?
Yep, so golden lion tamarins are a New World monkey. They're very small and they are bright orange. They're a really beautiful animal, and they get their name because they have a big orange mane of hair. They've got a long tail and, yeah, probably the size of a guinea pig, I guess.
Yeah, very elfin looking. Talk us through how you hand rear them. It must be, well, around the clock kind of job, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's been really intense and a really difficult process, but also a huge privilege and really enjoyable as well. So initially, when we first took them off Frida for hand rearing, we were feeding them every 2 hours, and that was right up until midnight. So we'd start at 6 a.m. and would feed. There's a small team of us that feed. We keep a small team for consistency. And so we'd feed up until midnight, and then gradually as they've become, they've put on weight and they've had some good growth and some good progress, then we've been able to sort of reduce their reliance on the milk and increase the amount of solids they're eating, which has also meant that we can increase the gaps between the feeds. So,
and because because they are so little, what are you using to get the food into them?
Yeah, so initially it was a tiny 1 ml syringe, and the amount that they were drinking was ridiculously small. It was probably around about 0.2 of a mil initially, every couple of hours. But that's because they grow so fast. They have such a really quick dependency and growth period. It's been really rapid, and so now they're taking around about sort of 10 mils between them, but the bulk of their food is solid. So we were feeding them in tiny little syringes with a tiny little teat, gradually got rid of the teat and fed from a syringe, and now they feed themselves from a plate.
And have they been separated from their mum and dad the whole time?
No, so they don't have full contact with their parents just yet, because we need to be able to get them back to feed them, and once they go back to mum and dad, we're not going to get them back. And so what they've been doing is to have visual and auditory contact with their parents for the entire time. We were in an incubator for the initial stages, and now we've moved them into what we call a satellite home. So within the sort of back of house night room area where Frida and Alonso live, we've put the smaller little satellite home where the babies live full time, and so the parents can be all around them and they can touch them in a protected way while we're not there.
And we're almost out of time, but what are they, boys or girls, and do they have names?
We've got a male and a female, and my team has just named them. The male is called Rufino and the female is called Aurora.
And personalities, very quickly, are they lively?
Amazing. Yes, they're sassy. They're like toddlers, twin toddlers, sassy and full of energy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That is Amy Robbins, who's Auckland Zoo's primate leader, and she was talking there about these two tiny little twin tamarin monkeys. You really have to see them. They're very elfin and they're almost like little cartoon characters. We'll put the pictures up on our web page, but Mum was unable to produce milk, so she couldn't look after them, and as she said, they've been hand rearing them for some time now with tiny little syringes. They are so cute. Check them out. If you love the rhino, you will love this.